Government calls Cassandra Ventura. How old are you?
38.
What is your work?
Musician and entertainer.
How long were you with Sean?
10 years.
Did you get in arguments?
Yes, it would result in dragging.
What else did he do?
Me in the head if I was down.
How frequently was he?
Too frequently. I would get black eyes and
Let me show you a video. Where is this?
the Intercontinental in Los Angeles. It was after a freak-off.
What does that entail?
The hiring of an escort, setting it up.
How did you feel when he first asked for it?
Confused, nervous. I wanted to make him happy.
Did you agree to one when he first proposed it?
Yes. Then there were more. It wasn't something I wanted to do, at least not that frequently. I didn't know what no could turn into.
What do you mean?
Making him angry.
What were you afraid would happen if you said no?
That he had materials,
What did you give the government?
laptops.
I've handed up GXB. Do you recognize it?
Yes, I've reviewed this drive. It has communication and documents pertaining to Mr. Combs.
Did you review photos on it?
Yes.
What's this photo?
Me in 2004 with Carrie Morgan.
When did you sign with Bad Boy Records?
2006. It was a 10-album deal.
Did you release any after late 2006?
No.
Who's in this photo?
Kim Porter. She was Sean's ex from before me and the mother of his children.
Where did you celebrate your birthday in this photo?
In Las Vegas. Carrie Morgan was there too. We're out on his patio on my 21st birthday. VMAs.
What happened then?
Sean kissed me in the bathroom. I ran back to my hotel. I told Carrie.
When you got back to New York?
I'd visit him at the Trump Hotel in Columbus Circle. His apartment was being renovated.
What were you doing with your music career?
Trying to come up with a concept. Sean called all of the shots.
What is the age difference between you and Sean?
17 years.
How did you feel when Sean invited you to hotels?
Nervous. Excited, like we were going to talk about music. He introduced me to... I didn't understand it.
Did you visit Sean in Miami?
Yes, I went with Carrie Morgan in Dallas, Austin.
What did you and Sean do together?
He gave me Blue Dolphin on a boat.
Had you once before taken unintentionally?
Yes,
How did you take it unintentionally?
it was in Gatorade.
When you took it intentionally with Sean, how did it feel?
Like rolling.
At the time, what did you think?
That we were spending a lot of time together. I thought we were monogamous.
Was it made public?
No, I was his artist. Also, his family, his children.
Who was linked to him publicly?
Kim Porter.
How did Sean treat you at this time?
We had fun.
What was his lifestyle like?
He had all these assistants. He could get things done. He traveled quite a bit.
What's this photo?
Sean and I at a strip club in New York, like 2007 or 2008. Halloween.
How did Sean's moods vary?
Day to day.
When it swung, could you describe it?
Anger. Zoning out.
How did it impact you?
Greatly. The next thing I knew, I was getting hit in the face. There was also psychological. He'd tell me to watch my mouth, change my face.
How would he keep tabs on you?
We didn't live far apart. He'd send security to come find me, or a trusted assistant.
Like who?
David James, Christina Coram.
Was your relationship exclusive?
No.
Did you see other men?
Yes.
Did Sean see other women?
Yes. He said, I am Puff Daddy. I was insanely jealous.
Did you move to LA with him?
Yes. He wanted to be close to his kids who were there.
Where did you live in LA?
875 Comstock Avenue.
How tall was the building?
No more than 17 floors.
Where did Sean live?
200 South Mapleton. Sean would use a golf cart to get back and forth.
Who paid your rent in LA?
Sean, except when I had the house in Studio City.
Why'd you pay then?
I could afford it then, and I wanted to have some control. It was accepted.
By whom?
Sean.
How many songs did you write while with Sean?
Hundreds. Most were never released. Some got leaked on the internet, some on mixtapes.
How many albums on your deal were not released?
9.
Did you get paid for them?
No. The freak-offs became a job. There was no time to do anything else but do them, then try to recover.
How much time in your week would freak-offs take?
The longest was 4 days, significant periods of time.
At this moment, there was a break. Then they continued.
Who was your manager at Bad Boy Records?
James Cruz.
What did he tell you?
That he was managing me with one hand tied behind his back. He had to check everything with Sean.
How did you make money if your records weren't being released?
I did hosting parties, when Sean approved them.
What comments did Sean make about your physical appearance?
That I looked too Mexican with my hair like that.
How did he like your nails?
White, French tipped.
Hair?
It varied. I shaved my head in 2009.
Your body.
He told me to work out, prepare for the freak-offs.
How did you feel about his comments?
It varied.
What else did Sean pay for?
Cars.
Did he give you cash?
Yes, but he would take things away depending on how he felt.
What else would he take away?
My self-confidence.
Who would take things away?
Staff. I assume staff.
At this point, there was an objection by the defense. Then the judge said to disregard the last answer.
Who took your laptop and phone?
Security.
How long would they be gone for?
However long I was being punished for.
How often were you in contact with Sean's staff?
Daily.
Who are in these photos?
Christina Coram and Ms. Fletcher.
What did you call Ms. Coram?
KK.
And who's this?
D-Rock. He was Sean's security.
How frequently were you in Sean's residences?
All the time.
Did they all have safes?
Yes.
What did you observe in them?
Cash, jewelry, cameras, and videotapes. In New York, LA, Miami, and Alpine, New Jersey.
Do you recall an incident between Sean and Suge Knight?
Yes. We were having a freak-off in LA. D-Rock came in and said Suge was down at a diner. Sean drove over there.
What was your reaction?
I cried, said don't do something stupid.
Were you ever handed a gun?
Yes. We were going to a club in downtown LA. We'd taken mushrooms. I was high. I was told to put the gun in my bag. I was freaking out.
Who was present?
A driver, security, and Sean. Another time I saw them get dressed and grab guns and leave in an SUV.
How long were they gone?
30 or 40 minutes.
Let me switch topics. How soon into the relationship did Sean mention to you?
First 6 months or a year.
How old were you?
22.
Why did you agree to try a freak-off?
Good question. I wanted to make him happy.
Where was the first freak-off?
One of his homes in Los Angeles.
Who is this?
The first escort.
Do you know his name?
No.
I'll call him the first escort. Were you aware he was paid?
Yes. To dance and to have intercourse with me.
What drugs did you take?
Ecstasy and alcohol. Before things started.
Did you disguise your appearance?
Sean said we would disguise ourselves. I wore a masquerade mask.
What was a session in a freak-off?
Until the escort finished.
How many sessions with the first escort?
At least 2.
How did you feel?
I was high, so I didn't feel much. Dirty and confusion, and that he was happy with me.
Why did you feel you couldn't say no?
I didn't want to make him angry or upset after he'd shared this part of himself with me.
How frequent did the freak-offs become?
Weekly for a consistent amount of years.
When was your last one?
2017, 2018.
How long were you awake during the freak-offs?
I never slept. I took drugs, ecstasy and Molly.
Do you recall all of the freak-offs?
That would be impossible.
Did you want to stop?
Yes. I was humiliated. I didn't have those words then. I couldn't talk to anyone about it.
Did you tell him you didn't want to?
Yes. I brought it up gently. I didn't want him to just do it with someone else.
Were you able to express your concerns to him?
At this moment, the defense objected to the question, and the judge told the prosecutor to rephrase his question.
Why would you talk to him gently?
I didn't want him to be angry.
What is this?
Email between me and Sean.
What did you call him?
Pop.
Why?
He asked me what I called my grandfather. I did it, but now I think it was disrespectful.
What did you write?
I really need to.
Why did you write that?
Because I wanted to be with him.
I'll read Sean's messages. You read yours. You don't want to do any more?
I'm so predictable.
What did you think this meant?
That he knew I didn't want to do the freak-offs anymore, but then I backpedaled.
Why?
To not make him angry. He could be violent.
Where'd you get your outfit?
Pleasure chest elsewhere.
Did you get piercings?
Yes, Sean came with me.
Which of his homes did you have freak-offs in?
Miami, New York.
What other homes?
My homes, all but Studio City.
In what other cities?
Atlanta, Ibiza.
In what hotels in New York did you have freak-offs?
Trump, Gramercy.
Intercontinental?
44th Street, yes.
Elsewhere?
Mandarin Oriental, Fontainebleau.
What names were used?
Jackie Starr I used. Frank Black.
What supplies were used for freak-offs?
Astroglide, baby oil, condoms.
Who brought the supplies?
Security, Sean's assistants.
Which brand of baby oil?
Johnson's.
How was it used?
Sean said, you need to be glistening.
Were there freak-offs where you ran out of baby oil?
After this question, the defense objected the question on the ground of it being irrelevant. Then the prosecutor asked this question,
You also mentioned Astroglide.
but was also objected over the same reason. Then the judge asked for a sidebar. After the sidebar, they continued.
We were just talking about Astroglide. How was it used?
Lubricant.
If you ran out, what would you do?
We'd call either staff or the bell desk, give them a tip.
Were the freak-offs lit?
Initially, it was a candle, strong smelling, Glade.
Any other use of candle wax?
A few times poured on my body.
Who set the temperature of the room?
Sean, I was expected to do freak-offs on my period.
Did you want to do that?
No.
Did you want to be urinated on?
After this question, the defense objected, giving the reason of asked and answered, but the judge overruled it.
No, I did not want it.
How did it feel?
It was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. No one could think I wanted it.
Why were you choking?
Too much in my mouth.
Who else urinated on you?
Sean.
Did you want Sean to urinate on you?
I didn't want anyone to urinate on me.
How often did it happen?
Often enough.
Which hotel charged the most for damage to the room?
The Intercontinental in New York. They redecorated the whole room for ridiculous money.
Back to the urination. Why didn't you say no?
It was obvious I didn't want to be on the ground being urinated on by two men.
Where did you find escorts?
Initially, Craig.
Ms. Ventura, in what cities did you respond to ads on Craigslist?
In New York.
Did you respond to ads on Backpage as well?
Yes.
Who directed you to communicate with escorts?
At this moment, the defense objected to the question. Then the prosecution asked another question,
Who, if anyone?
before being interrupted by another objection due to assuming a fact not in evidence.
Did you ever reach out to an escort independently?
No.
Did you ever not use an escort who arrived?
One couldn't perform, so Sean sent him on.
What was a safe escort?
Not a cop, and someone who'd not run and tell everyone about their experience with us.
Why not a cop?
I learned this whole situation was not legal.
Before Cassie could finish her answer, the defense objected, and the judge said the jury will disregard that answer.
How did Cash get there?
Security, or he brought it himself.
The escort Dave. Do you know his real name?
Clayton Howard.
Who is this? Photo shown to witness.
Daniel.
What service did you use?
A dancer service.
Do you recognize Jules?
Yes.
In what cities did you have freak-offs with Jules?
New York, Los Angeles, Vegas.
Do you know his last name?
No.
Who's this?
I knew him as the Punisher.
Did you use Jules at every freak-off?
Yes. I need to disassociate and become emotionless.
Who else used drugs at freak-offs?
Sean did. Sometimes the escort.
What other drugs did you use?
Special K, GHB, mushrooms.
I'll read Sean's parts of this email. You read yours.
When should I take the thing? When will you be there?
Pausing you there, what did you mean?
Drugs.
I took mine. I'm flying. What does he mean?
He's high.
Why did you take more drugs?
To not be present with the experience.
Why?
Because it was something I hated.
How did you react to ecstasy and MDMA?
It could make me vomit.
What would he say?
To continue.
Did you want to continue to have intercourse when you wanted to vomit?
No.
How does GHB make you feel?
Drunk. Tipsy.
Cocaine?
Makes my heart race. I'm not a huge fan.
Mushrooms?
The walls come alive.
After that answer, they took a break, but then returned and continued.
When drugs ran out, how did you know who to reach out to?
Sean would tell me.
During the session, how would you know to move to the next step?
Sean.
What would happen after the escort f***ed on you?
Sean would want it body in the next room.
Did you do that?
I did.
Where?
Usually.
Did you want to do that?
No.
How did you feel?
I was an object, being heavily objectified by men. Sometimes he would watch by FaceTime.
Were some sessions recorded on your devices?
Because they were there.
If you saw them on your device, what would you do?
I would delete them.
Why?
They were disgusting. I never wanted anyone to see them.
Were Sean's devices used sometimes?
Yes. I asked him to delete them.
Did he?
I don't know.
Did you ever leave a freak off before it was over?
Yes. At the Century City Intercontinental, I finally had a premiere coming up and I didn't want to mess it up, but Sean hit me.
At what point did Sean hit you?
Between sessions.
What happened next?
I got to the elevator. Next thing I knew, I was thrown to the ground.
Who threw you down?
Sean. He grabbed me by my neck and my hoodie.
Let me show you the video.
At this point, the prosecution showed Cassie the hallway video.
What are you doing?
Trying to use the hotel phone.
What is Sean doing?
Taking my phone and my bag.
This is where the judge interrupted them and told them that was enough for today. What proven guilty? Listen at your own discretion. What you're about to hear is the full testimony given by Cassie Ventura today from beginning to end.
Ms. Ventura, I just handed you 2 drives. What is on them? GX8?
Messages and photos from my devices.
Yesterday you testified about Sean going armed to look for Suge Knight.
Sean took guns with him.
And he told you to ask the escorts if they were cops?
I would begin by saying I was not a cop.
Sean told you to do that?
Yes.
What happened when you fought back?
I did that more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent, want to push me harder.
At this moment, the defense objected on ground of speculation, but was overruled.
How would Sean react if you fought back?
Anger.
I'm going to show you the LA Intercontinental hallway again. Play from 143 to 146. Who enters?
Sean.
What's in his hand?
He doesn't appear to have anything.
Play to 159. Now anything in his hand?
My phone.
How did he get it?
Well, he took all of my stuff.
Where does he end up?
Sitting in a chair in front of the window.
What are you doing?
I'm walking away from him.
Now who's in the video?
Me and security.
In this one, play from 531. Where did you go from the hotel?
I took an Uber.
Now let's turn to text messages. Can you read page 4?
Please call I'm surrounded.
Who sent that?
From Sean. He was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on.
Who sent these green messages?
I did. I wrote to Sean. Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace.
Who was Jules?
Escort.
Is this Jules?
Yes.
B606 and 607 side by side.
That's me. A selfie of me with a fat lip.
When did you take it?
In the Uber. With one of my phones.
What did you write here?
I said, please stay away from me.
And what does he say?
He says, I'm getting arrested.
Was he?
I don't think so.
What did you write back?
Plugging my phone in and going to bed.
Who was at your home when you got there?
Carrie Morgan. She was upset when she saw me. She called the police.
Did you speak with them?
Yes, but I didn't say who I was talking about and they left.
Why?
I wasn't ready.
Did Sean try to come to your apartment?
Yes, he was banging. That was pretty normal from him, but this is a pretty private building.
Did you hear from Ms. Coram that day?
Yes, and I went to see D-Rock and his wife to try to feel safe.
In this photo, what are you wearing?
A gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye.
What if any other bruising was visible?
I had several bruises on my leg, but I changed clothes.
What's this?
Me and Sean at the after party.
I'm going to show you escorts. Do you know the name of this person?
No.
In what cities did you use him?
New York.
Who's this?
Islander. He was on Latin Men. We used him in LA and maybe Vegas.
Who's this? 2A616?
We called him Tommy.
Who is this?
I know him as Greg, an escort in Miami.
Who's this?
Jonathan. We saw him in Miami.
Who's this? Red baseball cap backwards.
I don't know. He looks familiar from the freak-offs.
What did you write here?
This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something.
What did you mean by this is all we do?
Freak-offs.
Did you try to avoid anything in the freak-offs?
I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate. But Sean told me to do it, to kiss the escorts.
What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday?
A freak-off. He had me pulled out of the Blind Dragon for the freak-off. Some security.
What about blackmail material?
He wanted me to fear.
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
When would Sean mention the freak-off videos?
To hurt me. One time I was dating someone else and he threatened to release the freak-off videos. I'd have to answer to my mother. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone.
What did Sean say the impact would be?
Shame.
Let me show you a chat. Who's on it?
Me and Sean. July 22nd, 2013.
Read your message.
I wrote, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices. He said, no iCloud. All good. Ambien kicking in.
At this point, the prosecution requested a sidebar, and the judge then called for a break to change some things in the courtroom. During the break, Combs was seen sitting at the defense table, speaking with his lawyer, Xavier Donaldson. After that, the prosecution stated there were issues with the privacy screens and said they would put that off and do something else now. Then, they brought the jury and Cassie Ventura back into the courtroom and continued.
I offer more exhibits. What did you say here?
I'd been told there was a sexually explicit video out there about me. I reached out to Sean.
Then what?
We were driving back to NYC from Atlantic City to talk to this DJ, Who Kid,
Did that happen?
at a restaurant.
What was security's role?
To intimidate, they were lining the room.
Who was there?
Uncle Paulie, James Cruz.
How would you recover from a freak off?
I'd take a. I wanted to feel numb. We'd get massages, IV fluids. The chef would cook us something.
How often did you take after freak offs?
Often. I got urinary tract infections.
Were the UTIs painful?
Very. Antibacterials didn't work anymore.
How did it feel during freak offs?
Burning. I would not advise it.
Let's read this out loud.
I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI.
What sores?
Friction in my mouth.
From what?
Oral.
You said, another UTI, then sad face emoji.
I was open with him about them.
So you feel sick.
Why are you sorry? I took the blame for things.
Which escort would go to sex clubs with you and Sean?
Jules.
The escort from the Intercontinental in LA.
Yes.
Did you want to have sex with Jules? Ever?
No, but I knew him.
Why did you do it?
Sean.
Who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freak-offs?
Sometimes the escort was there too.
In the same room?
Yes, Jules.
And in the suite?
Yes.
Were they aware?
At this moment, the defense objected but was overruled.
Yes. The escorts would ask me if I was okay afterward.
In what cities did he put his hands on you?
New York, Los Angeles, Miami.
How frequently?
Too frequently.
What's the Abbey?
A gay club in LA. I went there with my friend.
Where were you going?
To a music festival in Canada run by Drake. Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. I was thrown into the bed frame.
What's this?
A photo of my eye afterward.
Who took you to the doctor?
D-Rock.
Did you send this photo to Sean?
Yes, and I wrote, so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it at least.
In this photo, where were you?
In the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to the Hamptons. Sean wanted to have a freak off in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort.
Which one?
Dave. I took G.B. I went into a G hole and blacked out. I woke up nude in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty.
Then what?
I spoke to a friend of Sean's, and then we had a freak off.
What's this?
My eyebrow healed up a little bit. A week later, I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow.
What's this?
Me at the Cannes Festival.
What happened at Cannes?
Sean accused me of taking from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was still on the boat.
And you were on the red carpet that same night?
Yes.
Did you attend the movie?
Yes.
How did you get back to New York?
On a commercial flight. I traded my seat to get away, but he traded to get next to me.
What did he show you?
Freak off videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'd release them.
How did you feel?
Trapped.
When you landed in New York, what did you do?
We went to a dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak off, so we had a freak off.
Why did you do it?
To make him not me.
Let's read these from June 13th, 2013. Had Sean been violent with you before this?
Yes.
Had you told him before you didn't want to do freak-offs?
Yes.
You said you needed GHB?
Yes, and that 2 escorts weren't available. I wrote, only Paul available, or Jake the white guy. But he can't do until 11. The other guy can do earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret.
What did you mean?
The freak-offs.
What is SLS?
A hotel in Hollywood.
When would you take Valium before a freak-off?
When I had anxiety, Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was Raheem, I think.
I have a binder for the court. The gallery will not be able to see these exhibits. Ms. Ventura, I will show you some exhibits. 2A404. Who is it?
She worked for Sean.
We will call her Mia. When you gave your devices to the government, were they working?
No, they were broken.
Put up 602A for Ms. Ventura and the jury only. What's on your skin?
Oil.
When did Sean first hurt you physically?
It started in the first year.
What staffer were present when Sean was physical with you?
At this moment, the defense objected on the grounds of physical is vague, then the prosecution was more direct.
Punching, hitting. When did Sean first use violence on you?
In New York City. We were in a car with his security, and he knocked me around.
What did he do?
He hit me in the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade.
In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Sean?
Yes.
What happened as you left?
I'd been speaking to a producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I had been drinking.
Did you see any injuries?
No. I was on the floor of the car, and he stomped on my face.
How long did this last?
10 minutes. Then I tried to get away, but Sean's security brought me back.
Who?
Roger Bonds.
What did they tell you?
To go to a hotel. They snuck me into the hotel covered up so no one could see my face.
How long were you at the London hotel?
A week? A little more? An assistant brought me ice cream.
What was the assistant's name?
Genevieve.
Did you feel you could leave the London hotel?
No, I understood his capability, his access to guns, the threats he made.
When you were taken to the hotel after the assault?
Trust me, we know that didn't make sense, but let's continue.
No.
Did you know that this assault incident was reported?
I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names.
Who raised the blind item to you?
My mother.
At this moment, the defense objected. It wasn't said what grounds, but the prosecution then said,
Not for the truth.
then the judge overruled the defense's objection.
This was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me.
What did you say?
No, I did not want my mother to know something of that magnitude and be in danger.
When you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened?
I saw executives from BET. Then I heard that Sean was there.
What did you do?
I left. I ran out as fast as I could.
Why?
I thought he was angry.
Did he come to the hotel where you were staying?
Yes, he beat me up and called me names. My face was bruised.
This photo. Who is it?
Scott Mascuti, known as Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011.
Did Sean find out?
Yes, in my phone. Sean went through my phone during a freakout. He found an email.
About what?
Taking my toiletry bag to Scott's the next day. Sean put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. I called Scott on a burner phone.
Where did you go?
To Scott's house. Then I talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants.
Then what?
I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt Scott and I.
What videos?
Freak-off videos of me. Sean kicked me in the back. I got a bruise.
Where'd you go?
To my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. This was just before Christmas. I sent an email to my mom in Capricorn from my flight to Boston and Connecticut.
What did you write?
That Sean said he would release the tape of me on Christmas and he'd had Scott and I hurt. He said he would be out of the country then.
What are these photographs?
My mother took them in Connecticut of the bruises on my back.
Were you entirely honest with your mother about the abuse?
No, I said this was the first time.
Did you tell her about the freak-offs?
No. Is it possible to take a break?
At this moment, Cassie asked to take a break. The reason is unclear, perhaps because of her pregnancy. Or maybe the questions were making her uncomfortable that she needed a break. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's continue. Once they came back, the judge asked the prosecution how much longer were they planning to question Cassie. The prosecution said 1 more hour and that their goal was to finish the direct and allow the start of cross-examination today. Then they continued.
Did anyone come to see you in Connecticut?
Scott did for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous.
At this moment, the defense objected and the judge overruled it.
Sean said he would hurt both of us.
Where did you go after Connecticut?
I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona, his son, college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work.
Did Sean talk about Scott's car?
Sean said he wanted Scott's friends to see Scott's car blown up.
What happened next?
We met, Sean, Scott, and me. Scott said, "What about my vehicle?" And Sean said, "What vehicle?" And that was the end of the meeting.
Put up the photo. What is this?
Me and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash.
Were you bruised?
Yes.
And this photo, what is it?
Me in Sean's bathroom, September 18th, 2015.
What were you doing there?
Recuperating from being beaten up by Sean in Las Vegas. We were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer, and Sean tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room and beat me, kicked me as I tried to hide behind the toilet.
What stopped it?
D-Rock and James Cruz came in. It made D-Rock sad.
What are these communications?
From D-Rock to me. He says, "Where you at? It's time to ice your face."
Why?
I had just been beaten up by Sean.
Were these all the times he beat you?
No, there were more.
With who else did you see Sean be violent?
I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Eli or Ely in his head. One time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged a person. I believe we had a freak-off in Turks and Caicos.
What floor did you live on in 875 Comstock?
17th floor.
Did a friend stay with you?
Yes. Sean came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony. I saw Sean bring her back in from over the balcony, then throw her on the patio furniture.
And Carrie Morgan?
I saw Sean hit her in the head.
Did you get drugs on your own?
Occasional drug dealers, opiates, Xanax, Sean would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle on the sink in the New York apartment. He'd say, "You can take them." He had doctors who would write the scripts in the name of an assistant, or in my name.
Your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened?
My mother told me someone was taking pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head.
You testified your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health?
I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD.
At this moment, the defense objected, but the judge overruled it.
What's this?
A photo of my front door in 2018.
Publish it to the jury. Why is there a knife there?
Sean was coming around a lot, so I had it.
August 2018. What happened?
We were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man.
Were you seeing anyone?
My now husband.
What happened next?
Sean came to my house and raped me on my living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you.
You cried. What did Sean do?
He continued and f***ed inside of me. Then he got up and left.
Did you ever have sex with him again?
Yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house.
Can you explain why you did that after he raped you?
We had been together 10 years.
Who did you stay in touch with?
Most people, though I pulled away.
What did you message Sean about after that?
Just checking in.
What did he send you?
That he had iPads full of images. Get him his money.
Money back for what?
For having paid my now husband to be my trainer.
What did you write back?
Do you want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs. There was a time I couldn't take the pain, tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy.
Did you write?
A book with chapters. My mom helped.
What did you want with the book?
That Sean read it.
What pain did Sean put you through?
Shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible.
How did you get chapters to Sean?
Through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously.
How much did you ask for the book?
$30 million.
Did you sue?
November 2023.
What happened with the lawsuit?
It settled for $20 million in 24 hours.
Why are you testifying in this trial?
I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I treated people like they were disposable. Escorts, anybody.
How many freak-offs did you have with Sean?
Impossible to know. Hundreds.
After you broke up with Sean, did you ever do a freak-off?
No.
No further questions.
At this moment, the prosecution asked for a sidebar before cross-examination. After the sidebar, the judge said, "Why don't we put off the cross until tomorrow?" The prosecution responded with,
We'd like to start now to be sure to finish.
Then the judge asked the defense, and defense proceeded to say, she will be finished by the end of the week. So they ended up not doing a cross-examination. That was it for day 2 of Cassie Ventura's testimony for the day.
Mr. Combs, correct?
I did.
For 11 years, you took care of him.
In some ways,
You called him larger than life.
I did.
Others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right?
Yes.
You knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right?
At this moment, the prosecution objected but was overruled.
In ways.
You kept coming back to him for 11 years?
I wouldn't say coming back.
You believed he loved you too.
I did believe he loved me too.
So when he cheated on you, it hurt.
Not every time.
At this moment, the defense said,
Bring up this defense exhibit.
but the prosecution objected and said it was not in evidence, and the judge agreed that it was not in evidence. Then they continued.
Ms. Ventura, read this just to yourself. Why did you send this message?
To let him know I was going to dinner.
What was going on when these messages were sent?
I'm not sure.
What was going on in your relationship then?
It was early. We were loving.
I offer it.
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of being offered the truth, but was overruled.
Please read.
I wrote, I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you, Cass.
This 2009 email.
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of hearsay, and the judge told the defense to ask more questions.
From BlackBerry. What is BG?
Baby girl.
What did you write?
You hungry, Pop Pop?
And Mr. Combs wrote to you, We are so in love we don't do anything else. How long had you been seeing each other?
Like 2.5 years.
Please read this 1364.
I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rush me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention.
You wanted your special time with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
You testified that you told him, "I love you so much you make me a better woman."
I definitely wrote those messages.
You wrote, "I can't wait until we have a baby of our own." You knew that he had 6 children at the time?
Yes.
Now, these messages about freak-offs, when you say, "You know it doesn't matter to me," you mean weekend or weekday, either is fine.
That's what it says.
Mr. Combs says, "Maybe we can call Jules. Can you do it?"
Yes.
This was an explicit message from you about the upcoming freak-off.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it ended in a recess called by the judge, but once they returned, they continued.
Ms. Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right?
Yes.
This is 2 days after planning a freak-off, right?
Yes.
He said, "I want to see..." How did you reply?
I can't wait either.
You wrote, "I feel like I want to fuck," right?
That's what it says.
Mr. Combs says, "I'm so horny I can't concentrate." What do you say?
That I'll go to Dwayne Reed for candles and then set up the room.
Did you understand that he was going to take another video of you?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on grounds of speculation, and the judge told the defense to move on.
You ask, "Any pills on you?"
Yes.
What pills were you taking then?
Opiates.
You deleted videos on your devices, right?
Yes.
What did you write?
That I need to feel this is my husband, the only one who will see this side of me.
Were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way?
That was a concern.
You still were not public in your relationship with him?
Correct.
Were freak-offs important?
Integral to us.
Who was at your 21st birthday party in Las Vegas?
Britney Spears, Dallas Austin.
How did you get them there?
They came for Sean.
You're very beautiful and charming.
Thank you.
It's true. Who is Tommy Mottola?
A well-known producer.
You were an up-and-coming star?
I guess you could say that.
After you signed with Bad Boy, things were still platonic.
Yes.
You had a rough performance.
106 in Park. It did not go well for me.
How did he help you after that?
We did a YouTube video. He said, everybody makes mistakes.
What was wrong?
I couldn't hear myself.
You were dating Mr. Leslie. How much older than you was he?
10 years.
Then you traveled to Miami with Mr. Combs. The flyer of the event was just a cover to spend time with Mr. Combs, right?
That's true.
You had a tattoo of Mr. Leslie's initials on your body, right?
Yes.
How many tattoos did you have then?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the grounds of relevance. The judge overruled it and said, "But let's keep it moving."
3.
The one on your arm?
No regrets.
Mr. Combs taught you how to do oral sex?
He did.
Look at this. Tell me when you're ready. Can you read it?
You can read it. It's making me laugh. It's from 2007.
You wrote, "I feel protected. You are sweet." You wrote, "I see that Carrie is better fitting for you. I'm hurt that you think I'm malicious. You're very important to me." Cass. What were you trying to convey?
It's like a journal entry.
You discussed Carrie Morgan. Did you think Mr. Combs was attracted to her?
There was a point in the very beginning.
Did that complication carry on in your relationship?
Not really. Carrie was just always with us.
I'd like to start asking about freak-offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask?
Yes.
The general public did not know.
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and the judge told the defense to rephrase the question.
No one knew until November 2023 in the public.
Yes.
Fair to say his career was ruined after your lawsuit?
I can understand that.
Let's read these messages. Mr. Combs wrote, "When are you on your period?"
No, now.
What you be thinking about when you horny. Ms. Ventura, if you don't want to read the answers, I can read them.
Thank you.
The O has lots of oohs after it, right?
Yes.
After a freak off, you'd make love with Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Your period, Mr. Combs is asking when you're on it, right?
Yep.
He's asking in the context of when to meet up and have sex.
Looks like it.
Sometimes you watched him with a female?
2 or 3 times.
Did you talk with Mr. Combs about the swingers lifestyle?
That no one talks about it.
Were you keeping freak-off secret from your friends?
Yes.
His assistants help him?
With everything.
Would you remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort?
Not necessarily. I was high.
So you don't remember much.
I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship.
This is from July 2012. You say to Mr. Combs, I'm horny and bored. This was after a freak off, right?
There are a lot of texts here.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
I would ask that the witness be allowed to read the entire document.
Then the judge asked how many pages. The defense said,
8.
then the prosecution said,
We don't have a copy for the witness.
so the defense said,
We'll show it on the screen.
so it was shown, but not in the public gallery.
You said Mr. Combs often put you down, but he also sent you encouragement and called you a queen, right?
Yes.
At this moment, the judge asked for a sidebar, then continued.
What would trigger Mr. Combs' incessant calls to you?
Anger, doubt about where I was.
If he suspected you of cheating, he'd call you incessantly
That was one of the reasons.
because he thought,
At this moment, the prosecution objected, and it was sustained.
do you believe Mr. Combs has good taste?
I think he does.
He's had an impact on fashion.
People like his style. Sean John.
Did you consult with him on your look?
Sometimes I got advice I didn't ask for.
He still ran his companies even while having all these freak-offs, right?
He did.
What was he addicted to?
Success.
What substances? Opiates?
Yes, he told me, and I saw it.
Did Mr. Combs' mood depend on whether or not he was withdrawing from opiates?
He was more irritable, I would say.
What other drugs was Mr. Combs addicted to?
At this moment, the prosecution objected on the ground of no foundation, but the judge said, I'll ask if I want the grounds, then sustained and said to rephrase it.
What was his drug of choice?
Ecstasy or MDMA.
Opiates daily?
When he was doing them.
You saw him withdraw.
Yes.
Let's turn to GX411.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
It's not in evidence yet.
then they continued.
So B414, page 3 and 4. You wrote, I love our FOs when we both want it. You felt that?
Loving FOs were just words at that point.
Mr. Combs wrote to you, I want to freak out right now. And you wrote that you wanted it too. LOL me too.
I texted more than that.
But you did text that to him. Mr. Combs wrote to you, Jules is available if you're into it. You could have said yes or no, and you said love you.
There was no yes or no.
Bring up B420 on page 2. Mr. Combs wrote, do I have your permission to set up freaky fun? You wrote, ovulation.
Yes.
Here, what do you say?
I asked, which hotel? I must have called him in between. I don't want to assume anything.
He said montage. You said you could also go to Pleasure Chest. What would you get there?
Sexual supplies.
What supplies?
Lubricants, outfits.
He says, have fun, impress me. You say, okay. He says, well, can we kiss a lot? What do you say?
Yes.
You wrote, I left the iPad.
I don't know whose iPad this meant.
Mr. Combs wrote, I'll be there right after my session. This was in June 2017. Do you remember arguments you were having at that time?
Not specifically.
Here you say, the game starts at 10 p.m. No breaking character till 8 a.m.
This was a game a friend of mine told me. A way to rekindle your romance.
By doing something different in the bedroom?
It's a whole getting into character thing.
Mr. Combs says, let's get some outfits and go to sex club. Mr. Combs wrote, surprise package coming from out of state. Why can't I reach you? What do you say?
I was getting my brows done.
Did you come to know Mr. Combs was leaving to freak off to go see Kim Porter?
Yes.
How did you find out about Gina? How did you feel? Did it upset you?
Yes.
It prompted arguments?
It did.
And he thought you were not faithful. What were his reactions?
It was scary.
Mr. Combs wrote to you, let's do something different in NYC this weekend. FYI, Dave hit me. What does hit mean?
Reached out.
And Daniel contacted you. Did this mean you might have a freak off?
Might?
He tells you, you better put me on VIP vibrate alarm or something. He's frustrated you don't answer his texts fast enough.
Right.
You tell him to come to NYC understanding there could be a freak off.
Maybe.
You also saw the Book of Mormon.
Yes.
Masked Pleasure. Is that a sex club?
I would assume.
He asks, are you ready for tonight? What do you say?
Yes. I just have to get some things. This is not about what I felt, right? Because you are skipping over a lot here.
What did you write?
As much as you think you're Bruce Willis, you're not. Your kids were babies when we started dating.
If you saw him on social media on vacation with others, it was heartbreaking?
It could be. I was 7 years in.
And what about this? About Gina? You wrote, I don't want to be a side piece, but I'll treat you as a king. You wanted to be the main girlfriend?
In 2013, yes.
You saw social media posts of Mr. Combs with other girlfriends and got angry, right?
Can I speak? I was jealous of certain situations.
Did there come a time he suspected you were in a relationship with someone in the industry, Mr. Muscooty?
Yes.
Mr. Combs thought it could be good for your career if you collaborated with Mr. Mr. Muscooty.
Yes.
Why did you begin your relationship with Mr. Muscooty?
We enjoyed each other's company.
You were in a relationship with Mr. Combs?
We were on a break.
But you were still doing freak-offs with him.
Yes.
After Mr. Combs found out by going through your phone, you went to see him. You knew he was upset. He previously attacked you.
Yes. I thought I'd be safer with other people there.
Your affair with Mr. Muscooty was only a month long, but you got a burner phone for it?
Right.
Mr. Combs kicked you in the back?
Yes.
This came up later in your relationship that you had cheated on him with Kid Cudi.
He brought it up quite a bit.
When he cheated, he said, well, you had an affair with Kid Cudi, right?
Sometimes.
He suspected you of having an affair with another person in the industry. You were in South Africa filming?
Yes, Honey 3.
While you were there, you saw a photo of Mr. Combs with Gina and were irate, right?
Angry?
You blocked him and focused on the movie, right?
I tried my best.
Mr. Combs suspected you of a relationship with whom?
Michael B. Jordan.
You sent a video not only to Mr. Combs, but also to staff. Who? D-Rock?
Yes.
You sent it to them because you were angry with all of them.
I was hurt. I spent all my time with them.
You thought they were in on it. The physical abuse. When did your father learn about it?
Same time as my mother.
Did Mr. Combs come to Connecticut to speak to your parents?
I don't know if it was then.
Carrie Morgan knew about the abuse.
Yes.
The eyebrow gash incident. What was it about?
Didn't answer the phone and went to sleep. I was supposed to be packing for a trip.
He was inebriated?
I don't remember that.
Why were you asleep?
A drink at the Abbey had something in it, I think.
Did Mr. Combs ever abuse you while he was inebriated, then say he didn't remember it?
Yes.
Did you feel he was not taking responsibility?
Yes.
For drugs, you'd both go to rehab?
Rehab wasn't really a thing during our relationship.
The freak-offs were an opportunity for you to take drugs together?
Yes.
You went a lot to Burning Man?
Yes.
Did you ever call yourselves Get High Partners?
We did.
Did you take drugs from him without him knowing it?
Yes.
What was his reaction?
Explosive.
Did he tell LA dealers not to deal to you?
Yes.
You told Ms. Coram that you learned only after the fact that Mr. Combs had dangled Ms. Bongolan off the balcony?
I'm not sure.
You were on drugs?
I'm not sure.
You got a life coach for your drug use, according to this document.
I don't know who that person is.
You were doing a lot of drugs?
It was a rough time.
You tried to get into a rehab, the Golden Door.
It was a spa. There was a time I lost all sense of smell and taste and woke up in a hospital with an IV in my arm. I tried then to get help.
The time after San Bernardino, you learned that he had overdosed.
A very strong opiate, yes.
Were you ever not addicted to painkillers?
We took Ibogaine.
Where did you get it?
Cancun, Mexico, separately.
When Mr. Combs threw you off the boat in Cannes, when he accused you of taking drugs and squeezed your leg.
Among other things.
But you still wanted to be with him?
I did.
Switching topics, when you say Mr. Combs went with guns to find Suge Knight, do you remember telling the government that you did go with them?
No.
Let me show you.
At this moment, the prosecution said,
Just for the parties.
Then they continued.
I did not go with them, so I don't think I said that.
You also did with Ms. Morgan, right?
Yes.
Do you recall telling the government that you did not see what he did, hitting her in the head with a wooden hanger?
I saw the hanger. I saw he was angry that I was doing drugs with Carrie.
This broke up your 17-year friendship with her?
It did.
Did you tell Mr. Combs about your relationship with your now husband?
No.
Ms. Morgan sued you and Mr. Combs.
Made a demand.
And you paid part of that?
I did.
And you haven't spoken with her since?
Maybe one text.
That was the relationship ender?
Yes.
You would heat up the baby oil?
Yes.
Now, is this from the day before the Intercontinental Hotel incident?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
This is a long document. We need time to read it.
so they took a break.
Is this from March 4th?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
With UCT time, it is March 3rd.
then continued.
Okay, Mr. Combs refers to accessories.
For the premiere.
You sent him an explicit message?
Yes.
He responded with with a number of M's. He wrote, "Too bad you have to work, LOL."
He did.
You ask him, "Are you feeling better?" Then he's discussing bodily function.
Yes. Could we just clarify what time these messages are really from with the UCT?
At this moment, the prosecution said,
There's a stipulation on that.
and this document was shown. You can pause to read it if you want. Then they continued.
Mr. Combs went to your premiere lunch at the London Hotel?
He did.
Then he says, "I just got out of a spiritual therapy session."
I asked, how did it go?
He said, "It's a process. This is leading up to the hotel incident." You say, "Baby, I want to FO so bad." You were asked in your direct and said you didn't want him to ruin your premiere.
Sure.
Mr. Combs says, "If we start at 7 p.m. and go until 4 a.m., you can get enough rest after."
Yes.
He's saying it'd be a shorter than usual freak off?
That's how I would understand it.
What do you say?
Carrie is here. We can't do it at my house.
You say, "That guy is sick. I'm not going to ask you what you meant." So you were turning to Johnny. Was he a dancer or an escort?
We hired him as a dancer, but he did what an escort does.
Do you remember the beginning of this freak off in the Intercontinental?
Not really.
The drugs were bad MDMA, right?
I have no idea.
At this moment in court, the trial session was wrapping up for the day. The judge looked at the time and addressed the jury. "It's 5 o'clock, jurors. You may go home. Do not look up anything about the case." As the jurors stood to leave, the judge formally dismissed them, reminding them of the rules. Then the judge addressed Cassie Ventura, who had just completed another day on the witness stand. "Thank you, Ms. Ventura. No discussions with the government. We'll see you tomorrow." Cassie then left the courtroom. Once the jury and witness had exited, the judge turned back to the attorneys to get a sense of how much longer this part of the trial might last. "Judge, how much more?" Combs' attorney Estevao responded, "Let me check." Then AUSA Johnson added that the government expected about 30 minutes of redirect examination for Cassie Ventura the next day. Combs' lead counsel, Agnifilo, chimed in to say, "We'll figure it out tomorrow." The judge reminded the prosecution to have their next witnesses ready, asking who was expected next. The government responded, "Don Richard." Before officially closing the day, the judge added, "If there are more issues, someone needs to email the court." This was likely in reference to prior concerns or disputes that had come up off the record or off docket. Finally, with no further issues raised, the judge announced, "Court adjourned." That was it for today. What do you think about Cassie's cross-examination? Did you think the defense did better than the prosecution, or did the prosecution do better than the defense? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We will see you tomorrow.